Was that recording the whole fucking time?
I think so.
Yeah, well, this was probably like a 2-minute gap. Fucking hear me yell. Sorry about that. I was not expecting to lose his mind.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Film Asylum, or should I say our new little spin-off venture, Conjugal Visits.
Oh, absolutely.
We're flying solo today. It's Jeff and I. John can't be with us. He's on a little trip in Massachusetts, so...
You know, the haunted house from the little Skype episodes we did? Yeah, that's where he's at right now.
Yeah, apparently he's renovating that, or... Maybe at the same time he should give it a spirit cleanse and an exorcism. Because that place looks haunted as fuck.
Yeah, if you take notice of the wallpaper behind him, it's so ancient. I'm afraid that like the Freddy Krueger's gonna pop through.
Maybe he already did.
That would explain why he was acting weird.
Yeah. He also took a jab at you and our friend Lord Damien McDonovan's Halloween special for Nosferatu.
As much as I wanted to do that, it just happened to be my schedule. Actually, October altogether just seemed to be so packed.
Oh my god, our Octobers are always packed. More so now than anything. I mean, 1, you have a family. 2, we're doing this. And then 3, we're trying to celebrate during a pandemic. And
yeah,
fortunately, we had things that were available to us. I mean, John and I were able to go to New Hope, PA, which is a beautiful little town. That's got that like old school colonial type feel. And during the fall, it just feels like you're in a place like Salem, Massachusetts or something. And every year they usually put on a Rocky Horror Show live event for everybody at the Bucks County Playhouse. This year they didn't. I don't think they really knew what was going on because of... I think it was when we went down, we saw a concert. They had a Halloween horror concert or just a Halloween rock and roll concert. I forget exactly what it was called.
I think with everything going on, everyone's trying to revamp everything, try some new stuff. So it's like we got to try a lot of new stuff this year too because of the pandemic. Like, as much as I would love to go see a live show, like when this all started, it was a Friday the 13th, and I was going to go see August Burns Red and Killswitch Engage. They canceled the show at noon that day, and I got mad because I'm like, I already had the day in. I was excited for metal, and nothing. But consolation prize, they are doing a live stream of their Thrill Seeker album on November 14th.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I was like, out of all the things, I at least get to check that out.
That's what I love about what Bucks County Playhouse did. They had a live streaming of the Halloween concert as well.
Oh, that's even better.
It was really cool. They played a bunch of like Halloween type themed songs from Rocky Horror. They had a bunch of Meatloaf. They even played things like Superstition from Stevie Wonder and I Put a Spell on You.
Yeah, I Put a Spell on You is probably like one of the best songs to like do covers of because I've heard so many. Like, come on, look at Bette Midler and
Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
Yep. They played that and the original version actually that night.
That's awesome.
It was a lot of fun. They also did Thunderball for a Sean Connery tribute.
Dude, that was a sad day. Like, I thought Lexi was joking when she sent that, and then I'm like, there's no way.
He's one of those guys that you felt like he just wasn't going to die.
Yeah, and it's like crazy because, like, he always looked like he was old, no matter what he did. But I was like, come on, look at him and James Bond and Indiana Jones. Like, he really didn't age much. He just got a beard and kind of got gray. It's like his face didn't age.
Oh my god, I love Sean Connery. I enjoyed the movie Dragonheart, even though it's not like a very well-known movie. But he did the voice of Draco the Dragon. And, The Rock. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah. Him and Nick Cage.
Everybody thinks of, James Bond, obviously. I mean, I loved him in Untouchables, too. And
yeah. Damn, I totally forgot about that.
That was a fucking awesome movie. With him and Kevin Costner. One of Andy Garcia's first movies, I think. That was...
The messed up thing is, I just saw that recently, like, for full time through. Like, I've seen bits and pieces of the movie, and then I think I found it on HBO or whatever and watched it. I'm like, yo, this is actually really good.
That was a really good movie. I think that's what he won the Oscar for.
Okay.
And that's what piqued my interest, but I also dig Kevin Costner, too. I know some people are kind of like Stallone and Arnold with him, where they're, like, hot and cold, but I think Costner's a solid actor.
Honestly, it caught me off guard when he started doing like thriller and horror movies because I'm like, yo, he's kind of like the action, like I want to say dad figure, but it's like when I saw him like Mr. Brooks and stuff like that, I'm like, dude, he actually can act.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, I was impressed.
He works behind the scenes as well. I think Costner's a really intelligent guy. I was so pumped when they redid Superman for Man of Steel that they got Kevin Costner as the Earth Dad, and then they got Russell Crowe as Superman's biological father.
Oh my god, yeah, dude, that was amazing.
I thought, man, with those two guys being your dad, how could you not become Superman?
Dude, I mean, Henry Cavill did an amazing job as Superman, too.
Absolutely.
I'm glad they're actually getting him to come back.
Yeah, that would be a real travesty if they can't do anything further with him.
Because, like, even all the stuff he's done, I would say, even the past, let's say, 2 years, you got the Justice League, you've got the Enola Holmes movie. Even the Witcher series is what I know a lot of people are going to know him from right now, where he actually fits the bill perfectly. I think he's bigger as Geralt than he is as Superman.
I've been watching his workout videos because everybody knows I'm in the weightlifting and bodybuilding. And yeah, he's gotten massive.
Well, I think because of how much he has to take his shirt off in that show.
Yeah. You can't look like a badass or Superman without looking like you don't lift weights.
If you guys ever get a chance, look up him reading the first chapter of The Witcher's first book. It's funny because I forget that he's British all the time, and then he's reading it while drinking scotch.
One other thing I do want to say, I know it's still off topic of what we're going to discuss, but seeing the town of New Hope on Halloween night, it was popping. It was a Saturday night. People were out. Some were wearing masks, some weren't, but they were dressed up in costumes. Everybody was laughing, having a good time. There was no fights. It felt like a really good atmosphere. I mean, it felt like nothing really changed in that town, especially on Halloween. I've been there during the Halloween season almost every year.
That's amazing, though.
I mean, hey, the town's called New Hope, and hey, it showed there's hope.
Yeah.
Like we can all get through it and stuff. And I was like, this is fucking awesome. I even said to John, I was like, dude, I mean, this is a good sign. And we had everything good going on that night. Ride down was good. We ate right before we got to see the show. And the hostess was even wearing all-female horror icon shirt. And I said, hey, nice shirt. And she was all like, you're the first person that noticed it tonight. And she got all excited like we made her night and stuff. It was awesome. Everybody was joking around. Just, oh, man, you just felt it in the air.
Dude, that's awesome. I love when the atmosphere is actually amazing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it felt like a Halloween night. It felt like a Halloween party. Everything was just awesome. I was like, good. We need this. We needed this.
And you guys did that. And I actually went up to Mahoning again because I love that place. And they did Monster Mania, a scaled-down version, obviously. But we went up for probably like 2 hours, got to meet Tom Savini again, and the woman who played Judith Myers. But honestly, Tom Savini, I think the older he's getting, the shorter he is. When you take the picture, I didn't realize how short he was. And I'm not a tall dude, but there wasn't too much like craziness. Like they did have the whole front of the Michael Myers house built there.
Oh, wow. Oh, so that's what that was.
Yeah.
I was looking, I was like, is he camping out there? I really didn't get it at first.
Oh, yeah, that's all it was. Like, because, like, they do a lot of photo ops with that. So, like, they build up, for Evil Dead, they built the front of the cabin. For Nightmare on Elm Street, they did the front of the house. When we actually went into the concession area, they had some props that they already had from other weekends in there.
Oh, wow.
So they had the popsicle house from Nightmare on Elm Street. And then on my left was actually all the masks from Halloween 3.
Oh my god, yes.
Dude, I almost bought those, but the only thing that sucks is they were like $80 a piece.
Ooh,
and I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, that hurt hardcore. And then I saw a life-size Chucky doll, and I'm like, I think Thea needs this. And he's like, oh, that's $450. I'm like, absolutely not. I'm sorry. I love my child.
Wait, $450?
Yes.
No.
Yeah. I was like, I even said to Lex, I'm like, yeah, if it's $100, I'll get it. I'm like, it's massive. It's the life-size version.
Jesus.
Yeah. Still wrapped and everything. I was like, holy cow.
Hey, in a couple years, you can dress Thea as Chucky and let her go running around.
I almost did this year because they have kids' costumes for that. Like, little girls.
I know.
I was like sitting there going, she doesn't need to be Anna or Wonder Woman.
Well, did you see the videos where the parents are dressing their kids up to the point where they're letting them run around with a rubber knife and people are freaking out?
I'm waiting for those years that she will be able to do this. I like when horror movie conventions will actually be back open and we can do it in full swing.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna take her up this year, but with all like how cold it got and with it being outside, I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna
Yeah,
subject
she's
her to
only
that.
a year old. I don't think she can handle that yet.
No, that's actually the reason why I didn't go to the filming of McDonovan's episode.
Lord Damien McDonovan's Damien's Dreadfuls.
Yeah, like it was actually my anniversary weekend, and it just so happened like everything I've leading up to that point. I was just like, all right, you guys just go without me. I'm sorry. Just tell them I'm sorry. Well, long story short, when they told me to finally watch this episode, they're like, we took a shot at you. I'm like, is it a bad shot or a funny shot? When I read it, I actually laughed because I was like, I was not expecting it because it's all done as like an old silent film, and John ends up calling me a loser. So
what happens is Lord Damien asks, well, aren't there supposed to be 3 of you? And my response is, yeah, Jeff couldn't make it. And then John goes, hee, loser. You guys can check that out on Lord Damien's YouTube page. It's Lord Damien McDonovan. The show's called Damien's Dreadfuls. It's the Nosferatu Halloween 2020 episode. So I guess that brings us to...
almost full circle at this point.
Yep. That's the latest. And like we said, this is not technically an episode of Film Asylum. This is a little spin-off we're doing called Conjugal Visits.
I think this got started because we started the other episodes of literally just us ranting about crappy movies.
Yes, that is due to you. It was actually due to Jeff for a mic test. He got his Blue Yeti, and for a mic test, he went on a rant about Star Wars Episode 9.
Yeah, Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, thank you. And he started it off by saying, "Welcome to the movie morgue." And I thought it was such a really good title, and because Jeff's iconic for ranting about movies, and due to our scheduling, we sometimes don't have time to do episodes, I said, why don't we just do solo recordings just to fill in some time here and there? And I said, we'll rant about bad movies and what didn't work and what we didn't like about them. And Jeff, like, by the time we came up with the idea and said, hey, we're going to have Movie Morgue, and that'll just be about, what did we say the tagline is? This is where movies come to die? Or they were already dead when they got here. Yeah, that's it. And we thought it was a fitting title for bad movies, and which it is.
Which is funny, because, like, when I pretty much got greenlit, I ended up doing 4 episodes right off the bat.
Was it 4 or 6?
But it was a lot.
It was a lot. I remember that.
It was 5 altogether. Because it was like Star Wars. We did Mad Men. I did the new Sonic movie, the newer version of Pet Sematary, and
Cannibal Holocaust.
Oh my God, Cannibal Holocaust.
You guys will hear them eventually. John's actually working on a new theme song, and we're adding more percussion.
Okay, I'm excited to hear that part.
I know. We got some exciting things coming up, and we're all, jolted about it. It's really cool. And a friend of ours is looking into playing the drums for us.
Oh, nice.
I'm looking forward to, hearing how that all turns out. It's really exciting, and it's really awesome.
And I know on an upcoming Film Asylum episodes, we're going to start having a little bit more guests. Like, yes, it's been us. You guys get to hear us all the time. But it's cool seeing an outside perspective. Like, I watch movies just to bitch about them. Like, you guys hear it all the time. Like, I kid you not, I watched the new Craft movie, not thinking much about it. Yeah. And I probably went on like a 10-minute rant to my wife right after I was done. She's like, why do you even watch these movies? I go, I got nothing else to do right now. So, like, as I'm doing the art for the episodes, I'll put a movie on. I can tell how bad the movie is how much art I get done. So if I get a full picture done after one sitting, I go, that's how bad that movie was. I can hear everything, and if something catches my interest, I'll watch it. Most of the time, it's just...
Oh, that's another thing we should mention, that the art for the thumbnails and throughout the videos are done by Jeff. So the videos for Are You Afraid of the Boogeyman, Battle for Antonio Bay, and I think the first one you did was You Don't Know Me.
Yeah, actually Adam West was the first one.
That's it, yep.
Like, on the newer episodes, I ended up just using pictures and then adjusting it to fit what we were doing. Like, even the pictures, like, on our Facebook right now of us doing Jason, Freddy, and Michael, those are done actually off my phone. Because we set it up just enough and I had to adjust my phone or us to actually fit us all in the picture.
That's another thing. We've been doing photo shoots. I think the first one we did was the Back to the Future one.
Yeah, and then the Hear No Evil, See No Evil, Speak No Evil.
Yes. Yeah. We have those posted on our Facebook, even though my Facebook's acting really weird. Like, I'm losing friends just
Well,
ironic, like Jeff was gone.
Yeah,
I was like, what the hell?
I was like, do you really need friends other than me? Like, wait, even Facebook's like, fuck you, you don't need
Yeah.
it.
I was like, okay. And they're deleting old posts and things I'm tagged in. I'm like, whatever. But I do have Instagram as well, and they're on there. Feel free to follow me. I know it might be random, but hey, I'm easy to talk to. Jeff's easy to talk to. He might yell at you more than I will, but even John.
I'd say just recently I found out I had an Instagram. I have no clue why, but
I've been tagging you in that.
That's even funnier.
I was like, oh, okay.
Because it's like I keep getting
artwork by Jeff Manfred, and
it was like I keep getting emails. I'm like, I don't have an Instagram. Like my name pops up. I'm like, maybe I do.
So yeah, that's the latest with us. It's pretty fun, exciting times, and we're having a good time doing it. We hope you guys are as well. But this episode we're calling Conjugal Visits. Because this is going to be about guilty pleasure movies. Movies that we think are bad, but we absolutely love them.
I wouldn't even call them, like, all bad. It's like one of those movies you don't come out and tell people, like, you watch. Like,
that's,
Yeah, like, I watch a lot, and I'm very vocal about it. So, like, if I'm, like, I actually have a couple, like, I didn't even tell Collin what movie I was going to talk about today, so.
Yeah, I'm very outspoken about the one I like, and people hear it, and the reactions of them are like, what? I mean, the title is stupid, but I'm just going to come right out and say it. My guilty pleasure movie is Mannequin, with Kim Cattrall and Andrew McCarthy, I think.
Yeah, I've probably seen the movie twice, and I knew it was cheesy right off the bat, but it's like 80s cheesy, so it's still kind of fun to it.
Yeah, and believe me, the first time I saw it, it actually grew on me. I've heard about this movie for so many years. I knew it was this big 80s thing. I knew Kim Cattrall more from Sex and the City. And then I heard other people say, oh, that's the actress from Mannequin. And believe it or not, I actually knew of the sequel.
Oh my gosh.
Just because it was on Comedy Central. You know, like how we talked about how Friday the 13th Part 8 was everywhere?
Yeah.
Most of the time, it seems like Ghostbusters 2 was always on more so than the original. Especially on Comedy Central, it seemed like it was on all the fucking time.
For no reason at all.
Yeah. And Mannequin 2, I think, was actually on, and I was like, wait, so there's actually a first movie called Mannequin? And it's totally different from the first movie. And unfortunately, I saw the second one. At least Christy Swanson was in it.
Wait, that's the one from Buffy, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Uh-huh. She was the best part about that thing. And the dude from Fright Night, he was in it.
Really?
Yeah, he was the Andrew McCarthy type character. And the dude from Friday the 13th Part 7 and Weekend at Bernie's was the bad guy.
Yeah, he does play a good asshole.
Yeah, he does. That he was. And it's stuck in the vein of the first movie.
Okay. At least they tried to at least follow the formula.
Yeah, it was typical camp and, you know, stupid and cheesy. But I think the thing that I like about the first Mannequin movie is it does have some heart and it sends a really good message. And in some ways I can kind of connect to it because what happens is Kim Cattrall plays a character named Emmy. She's Egyptian. Yeah, a Caucasian blonde. She's actually from Canada, I think. She plays an Egyptian and she doesn't want to get married because back in that time they were assigned husband and wife, basically, and she didn't want to be a part of it and said to the gods that she didn't want to do it. So at one point she disappears, and in the cheesy credits, it's all animated. You kind of see her as this cartoon character going through time, and it gets brought up at one point in the movie that she met people like Leonardo da Vinci, and she actually dated them for a while, because Andrew McCarthy then plays this artist, but his job lately is sculpting these mannequins and designing them for malls. And that's basically how he's getting his art fix out. And when she mentioned seeing Da Vinci, he was all like, wait, you met Da Vinci? Like Leonardo da Vinci? And she said, yeah, I dated him for a little while, but he was more interested in some girl named Mona Lisa.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, there's some corny moments to it, but it had good laughs. Like the one security guard with the dog named Rambo. It's this like little bulldog, and he goes, "Yeah, I named him Rambo because he draws first blood."
Dude, that is so horribly amazing.
Hollywood, the assistant to Andrew McCarthy's character. Fuck, I forget his character's name in that movie. But it's Andrew McCarthy. I mean, he's actually in Weekend at Bernie's, I think.
I can believe it, because, wow.
I think he's also in that new movie Tenet with Christopher Nolan.
Okay.
And he's done quite a bit of directing. He's done Orange is the New Black. That was a big thing that he's been doing. Yeah. If you see Andrew McCartney in the credits, that's him.
Okay.
And I believe he was also in another movie called Less Than Zero. That was based off a book by Bret Easton Ellis. It had Robert Downey Jr. in it. If anybody knows Bret Easton Ellis, he did American Psycho. And most of his books are kind of in this, like, Bret Easton Ellis universe. I'm not too crazy about the movie, but I remember Andrew McCarthy was really good in it. And, of course, Robert Downey Jr., I mean, for as drugged up as he was even then, he always knocks it out of the park. James Spader's also in the movie, Mannequin.
Wow.
Yeah.
See,
they have
like,
some pretty big names.
Yeah, I started, like, naming all these names off. I'm like, holy crap, there's a lot of bigger names in this than, well, I should say now than there were back then.
The mom from Golden Girls, she was the owner of the mall that Andrew McCarthy worked at, where he built the Kim Cattrall mannequin to be displayed at.
Oh, wow.
Because he gets fired from a previous mall, and he's getting all sorts of odd jobs. His girlfriend basically dumps him, and she's working for the competitor mall. So he goes to this other mall, and I believe he saves the actress from Golden Girls, and they give him this nighttime job, and he said, yeah, I'll like make the display windows and whatnot, and he makes Kim Cattrall into the one night, and I think he notices a scarf fell down, and he says, what's wrong? You don't like your scarf? And she just comes to life and says, not especially. And he has like the greatest, it's almost like the Roy Scheider, you're going to need a bigger boat when the shark pops up.
God.
I mean, that to me, that reaction is just priceless, where he's like, oh shit! And she's just like all nothing but sweet and nice and just wants to have a good time with him, not judging him on anything. Because Andrew McCarthy's kind of playing this nerdy type character. You're just getting absolute shit on by everybody, and no matter what he's doing. I think the owner of the mall and Hollywood are like the only two people that are really cool with him. And then Emmy comes along, and you can tell it's just this, like, really warm and inviting, caring sort of feeling. Throughout the movie and time that they're together, they actually go and spend time up at the mall. Like, hey, let's have fun. So Kim Cattrall and Andrew McCarthy start just wearing outfits in the mall, and they're just playing music, having a good time. And hey, why not? Malls were fun back then.
Yeah.
That was probably like the best playground ever.
But if you think about it, most 80s movies did have a mall in it at some point.
Totally. That was a big deal. Like Valley Girl, that was a big... was it Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
Yeah.
Was another one. And of course, Kevin Smith made Mallrats in the 90s.
I was thinking, even when, was it season 3 of Stranger Things, when the mall got introduced in the show?
Yes.
That made it a big standpoint. So it's like, yeah, the mall was a big thing in the 80s.
Oh, Chopping Mall. I knew that one would get you.
You did? You did it right as I was taking a drink, too.
And everything about Mannequin was also filmed in Philadelphia.
Really?
I thought I had read that one of the original Mannequin statues that they used for Kim Cattrall that she modeled to build or get sculpted from, I don't know what you want to call it, is actually on display at one of the malls down there in Philly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's actually really wild. Everything, I think it even takes place in Philly, and it's straight up filmed there. So that's pretty cool, knowing that it's right there. And like I said, the first time I saw this movie, I thought, okay, it's cheesy, it's whatever, but I got some good laughs out of it, and then I thought I kind of wanted to watch it again, because there were some things I did like about it, and said, I wouldn't mind checking it out, and I was with my girlfriend at the time, and I said, check out this movie, because she's also from Philly yet, and she enjoyed it. I mean, we knew it was campy, and it was stupid, and the more I watched it, the more I just said, there's actually a lot more heart into this, and it's geared more towards a female-based audience. But what I kind of relate to was that, being into the performing arts and also being into art myself, and a nerd yet, I saw myself as Andrew McCarthy.
Okay.
And how sometimes no matter what you do, it's always like the nice guys. I don't want to say I never got a break, because I always just like beat move to the beat of my own drum anyway. But that in some ways a creation that he made came to life and just was technically her own person, but chose him out of all people. Like there's the scene where he goes up to the window and sees her displayed and he says, you know, you're the like greatest thing I ever created or something, and it's in the rain, and she talks about how I saw you that night, and he was like, you saw me? I was like, wow, that says a lot, and that she chose him, and only he can see her, and if anybody else does, she goes back to a mannequin. So, and when he keeps on talking about it and builds up this success of like having the display window and they're attracting an audience and it's a big deal, he's got all these other forces and the rival mall that want to take that away from him, and at one point they try to steal the mannequin away, and he's like on a mission to get the mannequin back, and you see it go up this conveyor belt and then a chopper, and he goes and grabs it, and he's trying to pull like hell to save her, and as he's pulling her, you see her hands come to life and grab him back so that he can pull her up. And it's up to the Egyptian gods to let her be human. And they noticed that it was the love that he had for her that they let her be human after he saved her like that.
Oh, that's actually really cool.
And that's what I really dug about it. And you really felt it. You felt like the care that they had, and it was also just like a fun relationship. Like those are the kind of people that when they say, hey, we're having a party, it's like, yo, I want to go to that person's house because they're really cool. You know, I just dug that. I could see myself being that kind of like fun, happy-go-lucky person because that's just the way I am. You know, I like making everybody else around me feel good and laugh. And there's a lot more I could probably say about Mannequin. I haven't watched it in a long time, but I do enjoy it. I enjoy the jokes. I think Kim Cattrall and Andrew McCarthy had amazing chemistry in it. I see the fun that they have. It was I got more interested in what Kim Cattrall did, and I actually watched Police Academy. I'd never seen it, and then I saw she was in it, and I believe the one guard was like the head chief in police.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, I was surprised about that. And of course, I followed a little bit more about Andrew McCarthy afterwards because I thought he did a really good job in that movie. But most importantly, like deep down to its core, Mannequin was based about a love story. I mean, I can't quote on it, but I think the writer was actually high or something, and he thought he saw a mannequin move, and that's where he got the idea from. I'm not entirely certain on that, but like I said, I just kind of did some quick research, but it was really just, this is a guilty pleasure because I can kind of see myself as that character. I thought it was a lot of fun. I think anybody can watch it, and I enjoyed the love story behind it. I thought it was really cool. The concept, yeah, is stupid, it's corny, but it was just fun, and I think it actually has legs to check out. It's definitely an 80s movie.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt about it.
Hands down.
I do have a favorite scene. I should probably start with my least favorite scene. And it's as stupid as it sounds, it's probably the opening credits.
The whole animated sequence?
Yeah, I was
okay.
like, I don't know. This just doesn't feel like it flows with the movie at all. I'm just like, I mean, there are things that I don't like. I think sometimes the over-campiness of the movie itself is a little too much at times where I'm like, okay, let's move it on. Where like Andrew McCarthy and the security guard are just going back and forth a little bit. And I'm like, why is this security guard even bothering him at night? And then there's times where the guard's like not even bothering him at all. And I'm thinking, wouldn't he fucking see him talking to the mannequin more often? I don't know. But it's a movie, so like, dude, just roll with it.
Yeah, at that point, it's like, so your biggest issue is the pacing of the movie sometimes.
Yeah,
okay.
I'd say that. But my favorite scene that I absolutely enjoy is, it's actually the first time she becomes human, and they're talking about changing her for the window. She says, yeah, let's put this on, and she turns around and says, well, what do you think? And she drops her pink dress, and he's like, oh, don't do that. And she goes, well, you didn't have any problems looking at me when you were making me. And the dress just drops, and you see it drop to the floor, and he just has this like, oh, kind of look on his face. And instead of just being all like, ooh, yeah, baby, he's actually a gentleman and like goes to wrap her up. And when he wraps her up, she just leans in like, oh, I got him, you know, and then she leans in close to him on his shoulder, and she just kind of gives him like this little like, big smile and almost like some sort of like a nudge or a snuggle kind of
Oh my
look.
gosh.
And I just thought that was so cool, and it was so well played that, you know, from her performance to dropping the dress and what she says to Andrew McCarthy grabbing the next article of clothing just to be like, yeah, we better cover you up. And that's what he's more focused on, even though it's like, here's this beautiful girl, she just came to life, she was a mannequin that I created, but yet she's a real person, but I'm going to do the right thing, just let's cover you up. And then she just leans in like, yeah, I miss this affection. That's probably my favorite scene.
I guess if you're like stuck as a plastic mannequin, you don't get the like human contact, so that would make sense.
Well, plus her curse, if you will, it's like a gift and a curse, is that she's not getting married to somebody that she didn't want to be married. Because I think they even said they were going to set her up with a camel dung dealer, and then they actually get married at the end.
Oh, that's actually cool.
And they get married in front of the window where it all started at the mall. I was like, that's perfect. That's perfect.
It's so cheesy but perfect. I'd see now.
It's definitely not a manly movie, but no, I'm more than happy to admit that I enjoy it and I go to it quite often.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm not even upset, dude. That's actually the way you explained it. I was like, damn, that sounds like a good movie.
Yeah. Well, so you were just gonna rip on me for it, weren't you?
I thought about it the whole time. But that kind of leads into mine. Mine's actually Dirty Dancing.
No shit.
Yeah, dude, I love that movie. I don't tell anybody, but dude, it's a whole Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey. Like, they have such a good chemistry, but behind the scenes, they hated each other.
Oh yeah.
I was like, this is one of those movies I don't tell anybody. I'm telling thousands of people. I just love everything about it. Like the whole the class difference, the way that he acts compared to the way she's supposed to act, and like they started touching on like taboo items. So like the way they were dancing, they even talked about abortion. Because didn't the movie actually take place in what, the 40s, the 50s?
50s, I think.
And then like obviously it's filmed in the 80s. But it's like, it was one of those things, like, I had 2 older sisters, so I ended up seeing a lot of movies, but this is the only one that I actually enjoyed.
Yeah, that's one of my sister's favorite movies.
I catch myself singing that song at work.
Which one?
I Had the Time of My Life.
Oh,
like, I'll be working
mine's Hungry Eyes.
Now I'm going to do that one today. But it's funny, because, like, I'll be working on a line, I start humming it, I'm like, what is that? And all of a sudden, it's like, it starts coming, I'm like, so as I get older, I watch it, like, every now and again. I always do, like, all right, is anybody home? Cool, I'm going to watch it by myself. Like, I kid you not, that's how it is, too. Like, I bought it off of PlayStation not too long ago just so I could watch it.
No, but that's a talented cast of people in there.
Yeah. I guess I'm crazy for Swayze, so...
I think that's the first I heard that.
Oh, you ever heard that before? Yeah. Dude, that's
Jerry Orbach's in it.
Yeah.
Isn't Wayne Knight in it as well?
There's a decent like cast in it. Like prior to doing that, Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey were on Red Dawn.
I was thinking Rescue Dawn, but no, that's the Christian Bale movie.
But I guess like they had some issues with that ended up transferring over to this movie. So, but I guess it got all worked out because it came out really well. There's
a really good documentary on Netflix, The Movies That Made Us, and they talked about it on there, how, again, this was one of those, like a Nightmare on Elm Street movies where it was just passed on. And I'm not sure, but was it actually like a porn company that said they wanted to finance it for them?
I think so. Like, I ended up watching that episode by myself because I watched all the other ones that were on that Netflix thing with Lexi. That was the only one that we didn't touch, and I was like, I'm watching this no matter what. But I think it was like a porn one, and I think a woman wrote it, so everyone passed on it because they were like, it's a love story, we don't need any more of those right now. But it had a lot more into it than what it had on the outside. So like, I was like, even with, like I said, all the stuff they touched on, like, you did not expect that in a movie, which was pretty much taboo at the time. And then they finally kind of put it out front.
The dancing is really really good in that movie as well.
Yeah, dude, the music's infectious, the dancing's kind of fun, so it's kind of cool, like, just seeing like their relationship build and him trying to get her to dance, and
some of those performances were pretty authentic, they said as well. Like when he's putting his arm down Jennifer Grey and she's laughing, they said that's because he's really tickling her and he's really frustrated. And I've heard Rob Lowe even say that Patrick Swayze's intense on set.
I believe it.
They said that like if there was a break, he'd be doing push-ups or something. He's always...
Well, dude, his physique alone.
I know, right? Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Dude, I couldn't believe his back and his traps. Like that one scene where they're rehearsing. I was like, holy fuck!
Well,
his
that was
back
the thing.
muscles.
They didn't know he could dance.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that. And was his mom that had him do dance lessons when he was a kid or something?
And he's like, I guess he wanted to stop being cast as like the action hero, and this was like his one breakout role, and it fit. Like even when he does that jump off the stage and lands on his knees, he had a football injury.
Mm-hmm, where his knee was all fucked up.
Yeah, when he hit, they were afraid his knee was gonna blow.
So, but he did it anyway.
Yeah,
and he knew it. He said, "Hey, I'm just gonna do it, and what happens happens." I was like, man, that's trooper, man. Another thing I respect about Patrick Swayze is that he was married to his wife for decades.
Yeah.
It's like success didn't go to his head, and didn't have a wandering eye from stories I heard about him. I was like, dude, that's a class act, man.
Yeah.
That's a real fucking class act.
That's really impressive.
For a guy like Patrick Swayze, I mean, shit, dude. Could you imagine the women that would flock to him, that just throw their underwear at him?
Oh, yeah, dude. I can believe it.
I mean, that does take a strong man to like stay committed to his wife like that for all those years. I thought that was really awesome. That nothing just went to his head. And to hear that he was a consummate professional. Sometimes he could be a bit of an asshole, but hey, sometimes professionals are.
Yeah.
I think it's also just how you handle stuff. Jennifer Grey, I think that was another one of her best performances. I mean, I do enjoy her in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah, as the bitchy sister.
Yeah, who turns out to be the cool cool chick at the end.
Well, the funny thing is, I always mixed her up and the same woman from Halloween and The Fog, because they have very similar faces.
Oh, Nancy Loomis?
Yeah, and it was funny because like I didn't realize it was a different person until I got older, because I was like, they look very similar.
Mm-hmm. Well, I always kept calling Jennifer Grey Jennifer Garner, or I think even, was it Jennifer Beals from Flashdance or something?
Oh,
and then there's Jennifer Beal, who's married to Justin Timberlake from, was it Seventh Heaven or whatever?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, what the fuck?
Too many names that are very similar.
Yeah. And isn't there that rule in Hollywood you're not allowed to have the same name? I think they should do the same thing if they're close to, like, you sound like this, you sound like that. No. You fuck my wife, you fuck my wife, you fuck my wife. I am your wife.
You had to throw that in there.
I was rolling. Well, do you have a favorite scene in Dirty Dancing?
Actually, probably the one where they're in the lake, where he's teaching her how to do the jump in the air and put the arm out. Because it's a cool scene to watch. Because
it is cool.
Like him, like you said, him getting so frustrated with her, like being so, how is the word I'm looking for? Has no rhythm, and like he could tell he's like just pissed off with her. Like I was like, damn, dude. But like he said, he's a professional. Like he did his job, and like it was cool seeing it, like the build up.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And then the payout at the end was really cool. Nobody puts baby in a corner.
That's a classic line.
Yeah. I mean, when I first heard that, I was kind of like, what's the big deal with it? But then the older I got, I was like, I get it now. It's what the character would say to just basically say, fuck you.
Yeah.
You know, she's more important than that.
Yeah.
And Jerry Orbach is kind of like that strict, hard-ass dad. But then he turns out to be really cool at the end.
I think like he was also growing as a character too. Like,
yes.
After that whole incident with the abortion thing, you see he saw his daughter in a different light. Like she was growing up, so I guess he kind of had to grow up a little more himself too. Like seeing that she's now an adult.
Is there anything you didn't like about the movie?
Honestly, I don't have really too much anything to bitch about. Like it's a solid movie. Like I wouldn't even say it's a cult classic. Like it's still here. Like.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely want to say it's a cult classic. I think it's universally loved.
Yeah, because like I wouldn't even, I say maybe the beginning is a little slow, but other than that, man, like there's nothing really to bitch about.
Yeah, I don't know too many things. I mean, it's been a long time since I've watched Dirty Dancing, but I do have it somewhere.
Yeah, when we're done,
Yeah. If you don't have to be alone anymore, Jeff.
I think the main reason is my guilty pleasure because like I scream about horror movies all the time. That's the main thing I watch, and then like going into a love story is kind of like, yo, I'm a big bald tattooed dude. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, right.
I was like, I saw a little bit of shock on your face when I said this, so
well,
that's why I saved it.
I gotta admit, I wasn't totally shocked because I think one time we were talking about guilty pleasure movies and you did throw Dirty Dancing in there, but you made it sound like it was a joke.
Oh, I wasn't.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, here's Jeff just fucking around. And I think I even said, yo, it's playing down at the Fox Theater again. And I got nothing back. I was like, oh. Okay.
I was already there. No.
Yeah.
That's probably one I want to see in the drive-in because I think it'd be like a cool aesthetic.
Yeah. Oh, sure. I think a lot of those 80s movies were built for drive-ins in a lot of ways. I don't know why. I really don't know why, but they just
it's that big feel that they have. It's like you get to see it on a big screen, but you're still out in the open. And
well, I also think maybe it's because now that I'm giving it, like 5-second thought, is that was some of the things like in the 50s, and I don't know like how far back they went exactly, but movies were built for that, and then they started becoming more indoor and IMAX, and that's when it changed a lot. Like as much as I think something like
well, I'd say how about this? Like when we saw Chopping Mall at the drive-in, you had a different feel for it than I did watching it at home.
Oh yeah, well anytime you watch a theater experience, it's always going to be different. I don't remember going to see Tim Burton's Batman '89 in a theater because I was 2 years old, but my parents told me, we took you to the drive-in and we saw Batman and Beetlejuice. They were back to back.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so those are like my first two movies. I mean, do I remember that? Oh hell no. But when they had the 30th anniversary for Batman, I actually went to the theater when they were playing it again, and I saw it. And then they played Beetlejuice in October, and I saw that just because I was like, hey, why not?
Yeah,
Let's do it again.
It's cool, though.
Oh, yeah, and I've seen those movies, especially Batman, because it's probably my favorite movie of all time, well over 100 times. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it's in the thousands. I mean, it was a totally different experience. I mean, even when I saw Empire Strikes Back, I was wow, this is so different. Especially with the sound effects that you get in the theater. I mean, the Darth Vader breathing is like, it just amplifies it more, and you really feel it in the theater. And I'm like, wow, this is why it's important to go to theater screens instead of just saying, I mean, there are movies that you wait for at home, but I gotta say a movie like, I don't know, like Dark Knight Rises or Endgame.
I would say those movies are shot in the IMAX.
Exactly.
So you're going to get that IMAX experience.
Yeah, I don't think they would have the same feel as a drive-in would. I mean, I think you could probably have a better experience at a drive-in with a movie like Pulp Fiction.
I was thinking Jurassic Park, too, would probably be a cool one to do.
I saw Jurassic Park at a drive-in.
Dude, I want to do that.
And Lion King.
Yeah, Lion King's one. I think that's the only other one I would really want to see at a drive-in. Like, I remember watching that in theaters when I was younger. That's showing how old I am. And I was like...
You and me both, brother.
I know, dude. That is probably, like, how much you love Batman. I love Jurassic Park just as much.
Okay.
Because, like, even showing that to Thea for the first time, she enjoyed it up until the point the T-Rex came out of the cage.
Oh.
That roar frightened her. So I'm holding her while we're still watching this movie, like, while the T-Rex scene is finishing up, but she was cool with the raptors the whole time. I'm like, so wait a second.
Hey, well, she'll grow out of that eventually. Yeah. That's like, I used to run away, believe it or not, when Jack Nicholson would always fall into the chemical vat.
Dude, that's a scary part.
I know. I mean, I think it was also that vertigo, like, I mean, I would literally, like, run away from that scene. I was like, oh my god.
Like I said, that's a scary, like, sequence. Like, for a little kid to see.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, and then his hand popping out all, like, white and the nasty fingernails.
Oh my god, dude. Anytime, like, hands pop out of somewhere, it's freaky. Never mind that Elm Street Bed Scene. Oh, god.
That's your favorite.
It is, though. I hated it for so long, but now I love it. Well, I love the chemical vat scene now as well. I also think it's one of the main crucial scenes in a Batman movie for a Joker origin. I feel like you can't have a Joker without that.
I feel like there are so many OSHA regulations that they are...
Was OSHA a thing in the 80s?
I don't even know.
I don't know either. Well, to be fair, the movie was filmed in London, so maybe they got away with it there. I don't know. That pissed me off with Suicide Squad when they tried to redo the chemical vat scene there. Oh, it was bad. I hated it.
There's so much about that they dropped the ball and then kicked it across the field, and then they tried to pick it back up, and then they dropped it again.
Way to go, Charlie Brown.
I feel like they did redeem themselves with Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
With that whole series. Like, I'm curious to see what Suicide Squad, the new one, is going to be like. I know they didn't bring back really anybody except for, Margot Robbie?
Yeah, I think the guy who played Captain Boomerang's coming back.
He seemed like a fun guy. But...
Yeah. I'm more interested in seeing what she's going to do because this time around it actually looks more comic book like her. Or think of Arkham City.
Okay.
I saw some pictures and videos of her and I was like, yeah, that looks more like Harley Quinn than what we got before.
Yeah, I think they were just trying to branch her off on her own, where break away from the Joker, which is nice. Like, we don't need her to be Joker's sidekick at all. Yeah,
especially a Jared Leto Joker. Oh gosh.
It's a good starting point. It shows where her character comes from, but I think she's a stronger character by herself.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think Margot Robbie can hold her own as that character.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say just look at Birds of Prey alone. She held her own. Dude, that sandwich.
Oh yeah. Every time I go to Dunkin' Donuts for a bacon, egg, and cheese bagel, I'm like, I think of that movie. I go, this is pretty good, but it's not what she had.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Now, damn, I'm hungry.
Now, we should probably eat before we do this, because
I know, right?
We talk about food.
So yeah, that's our conjugal visits.
I know we got off of topic quite a bit, but it was just fun talking. I guess more bullshitting.
Well, I mean, really, what we're doing for these episodes is going to be us chatting maybe 6 to 10 minutes at the most. So this was nice because we had a back and forth, and I know because you were really interested in listening to what I had to say, and this asshole sending me text messages. I want to be there so I can hear you confess your love to Mannequin Collin.
Absolutely, because
I could just see it in the text messages. I'm gonna make you look like an asshole. I'm gonna rip on this piece of shit movie. I'm gonna rip on you for liking it. And then I shocked you and the world.
Exactly. So we both shocked each other today. Because being a smartass about mine in previous conversations, and now you're actually going, holy shit, he wasn't kidding. So it worked out both ways.
Yeah.
It's fun, though.
I was open about it.
Yeah.
I think John has laid out a couple of them. If he gets his audio right. He was sending me a couple and the audio was a little rough, and he's like, oh man, I gotta redo these.
Oh yeah, I remember you guys talking about that too. That's what makes it even funnier.
The big one that sticks in my mind that really would set people back and I think would make for a good first episode for me was definitely Mannequin.
Yeah. And honestly, as a first episode, I wanted to be here because I thought it would have been cool to actually have that back and forth, because when we are filming by ourselves, it's weird because you're either staring at a wall or something else and you don't get a reaction. But once you get a reaction, you can actually get a different feel for it. So we were talking about last night doing shows by ourselves, and it's it doesn't have the same feel, and I think that's what it is.
Yeah, it doesn't. And really what the side shows are supposed to be are just time fillers until the three of us get together. Or like we say, we want to bring more people on because we're having a good time. And we're getting requests for people to say, yo, do you mind if I come on?
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the more the merrier.
The one woman I think I brought up before, her name's Jen Harding. She was one that we're trying to get on to do, was it The Women of Horror? And I was trying to see if we could do a Scream episode because that's her favorite movie. She actually does the shirts that I'm wearing in our, I think, Back to the Future picture and the one for the drive-in. So
okay.
That's her
art.
Awesome. So I know this weekend she has a show. My wife's actually going to be there with her, and me and Collin were talking about going, mainly to insult Ari leaving, but
worth it.
Yeah, I know her stuff's on. What's it? Hot Topic sells her shirts, but she has her own art. It's Jen Harding Art. So go check
what's her domain page?
I think that's what it is, Jen Harding Art.
Jen Harding Art? Okay.
Yeah.
Is she also on Instagram?
Yeah, look on Instagram. Facebook, I know, definitely. I just look her up on Facebook. She usually posts everything that she has.
Okay.
She does do the horror movie circuit, so that's where I met her originally was at a horror movie convention, and my wife's like, "Oh, this is my friend," and we're all both in line for meet PJ Souls, so it made it even funnier.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's like right off the bat, I was like, "All right, this woman seems pretty cool."
So check out Jen Harding. That sounds like a really cool time. I mean, anybody else that wants to come on the show, we're really welcome. Our friend Sandra, that's who we're talking about, is probably going to do drums for us, and we're excited about that. I don't know. I mean, maybe we'll get her on the show at some point as well and be like, hey, it's Sandra, and she does drums for us now.
Yeah. I'm excited to see like what guests we can get on. Like, even if we get some famous people, it would be cool. I know John was working with a couple of people that we're trying to get with us.
John actually was pretty busy this year, believe it or not, working on some feature-length films. He has one called Sleepwalk Kill that they just released a trailer that can be seen on YouTube. He's not totally sure when the release date for that is due to the pandemic, but he did finish another movie, like, with the last week in October or the second last week, somewhere around there, and it was directed by Daniel Roebuck, which was really cool. I thought that was really wild, and unfortunately, it looks like Daniel Roebuck is busy, so we won't be able to get him on the show. But that's fine. I mean, I understand. I mean, plus he also lives out in Los Angeles. I don't think he'd come to the Loomis room. We could probably Skype with him if he'd had the time.
I think that'd be cool, like do a Skype episode with him.
That'd be wild.
Because I think it'd be a little weird. Hey, you got to come down to my basement.
Yeah.
Excuse me? Yes.
And he also met some really cool people that have worked with him on movie sets as well, and have worked on other movies that he's planning on trying to bring along with. So we're looking forward to that. And some also old friends are planning on wanting to join us and just get together and have fun, talk about movies and what they liked, what they didn't like.
I think our biggest one is we're trying to get, can't remember his name. We're eventually going to do the Black Christmas triple threat.
Oh, yeah, with Nick Bilas.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that one I think is going to be fun because like those three movies are very different in every way.
I've only seen the first one, and I love the first one, so I'm scared that I'm going to have my time wasted and bored.
I don't think you're going to be bored at all.
Oh, really?
They're a shit show.
Well, I think the show might be more fun.
Oh, yeah. Like, with us branching off and doing, like, versus episodes, and we're going to be doing The Shining, not even versus Dr. Sleep. It's going to be, like, a combination episode because with the 40-year gap in between book movie, it made more sense to continue the story and almost finish it.
Mm-hmm.
So that one I'm excited to do. But yeah, like I love that we're now branching off. Like, yes, we are doing extra stuff on the side just so that we have more content, but we're still trying to keep it fun and try new things with the episode. Like I said, we're trying to make it our own. Where, like I said before, very systematic. Like, oh, this is boom, 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 boom. That's what we need to get in. We got a little long-winded. That was the one thing I heard was that we talk too much. Dude, I could talk all fucking day.
Yeah.
But I am glad that we are kind of doing this as a little more organically now.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, the show's come a long way since its humble beginnings and just recording on a microphone.
Yeah, on our phones. That was actually funny as hell.
Oh, yeah, not a microphone, on our actual phones. Yeah. Well, we can also bat them out a little faster now being on the mic, so that's a lot of fun. Yeah. It makes editing a heck of a lot easier.
You can edit an episode in about a week. I get actually the art done in about a week, so it works out that we're able to pump them out quicker. So
I think the biggest issue is scheduling. I mean, now I'm rotating shifts, and that kind of sucks. But also, Jeff and I work quite a bit of overtime. It's not uncommon that I get stuck doing 11 to 12-hour days, sometimes doubles, and we got on a rhythm where we have a day and we just pick that. But you know, we noticed that more people are liking the episodes, and we're just trying to keep it growing and keep it interesting. And we also like leaving a positive message. Yeah. Because everybody's in really like negative moods, and politics are all over the place, and people want to push that in movies and other things. And we just want to say, let's just talk about the movies and leave all that other bullshit out of it.
Honestly, that's the one thing we all agreed upon. We don't want politics or anything else to play role in this show, and I'm glad we stuck with it.
Yeah. I mean, there's some things like X-Men, I think, that are kind of at the core of a political thing that you can't really go around.
Yeah.
And I also just hate how they're force-fed down our throats to begin with anyway. Like, I heard somebody say, oh, you should talk about politics on your show. And I'm like, no. Because, one, not everybody agrees. And, I mean, the three of us have also said we're just kind of like middle of the road where we don't really side with a party and say that's the be-all, end-all. I mean, we basically believe in right versus wrong is the best way to say it. But not everybody sees it that way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, fuck politics.
That's about as political we're going to get.
Yep. And there you go.
But I'm glad that everyone's listening. I'm glad that you all are actually checking out our older shit. So,
yeah, we're having a damn good time with this. It's a lot of fun. We hope that it's positive, it's inspiring, and we're not as boring.
Yeah.
Some other podcasts are. I mean, we try to keep it interesting and keep the flow going. I know I just, lose track of focus, and I gotta stop that.
Sometimes, when we're in the middle of a conversation, you'll just see one of us just go blank. And it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
I think the funniest one I do is mid rant, and my brain just goes, nope, never mind.
Yeah, sorry.
You're not mad anymore. Go away.
I also like that we look at it as a fan's perspective more. I mean, you got John and I that have some of a professional outlook with it, and then you got Jeff who's just totally on the fan side.
Oh yeah.
And John will also find critical responses, and then we'll look at them and be like, wait a minute, what? Because no matter what, if there's a director you don't like, most of the time they'll probably have at least one movie that you like, and you just be like, oh, son of a bitch, I can't believe I like this movie from this guy.
Now I can't hate on him as much.
Yeah, it's like a band that you can't stand, and they have that one song that you like.
So catchy.
I know. Oh God. And we know we're gonna come around to something like that one of these days.
Well, we technically did already when we talked about Knives Out with Rain Johnson.
Oh yeah, that's true. Because he fucked up Star Wars.
Fucked up for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, that's Conjugal Visits.
We just randomly talked about a lot of stuff.
That's all right. We needed a time filler there, and giving you guys a little heads up of what to expect in the future and how we go. I mean, and really, a conversation like this is normal between Jeff and I.
Yeah.
That's how it all started.
I was like, dude, we've been friends since we were 12.
Yep.
So,
that's an episode in itself.
Yeah. The amount of stupidity that we have done over the course of our lifetimes.
Oh my God, from talking about Jamie Lee Curtis's tits dropping down to the floor in our Halloween episode to
oh my God.
The shit we talked about on Friday the 13th. And now the photo shoots that we have that you can see on Instagram and Facebook and all that other jazz.
That is us. That is us to a T. We are very, I guess, open with a lot of shit.
Oh yeah, I don't care, man. I'm just enjoying life any way I can.
Yeah.
I think that shit's fun. To me, that's the most fun about movies, is that when you can engulf yourself in different characters and put on makeup and costumes. That to me is more movie magic than anything.
Yeah.
That's what attracted me to movies to begin with, like the old-fashioned horror. It wasn't just, oh, you're in a house, now you wear a suit, and the woman wears a dress, and you drive a car. No, it's put on costumes, put on makeup. How did they do the Wolfman? How did Boris Karloff feel when he put on all the Frankenstein monster makeup? And I think that was also another reason why I gravitated towards the original Batman and Ninja Turtles movie. And also, I remember, of course, I had the old Adam West show, and then you see the Batman as a movie, and it's just elevated to another extreme. We had the Ninja Turtles and Ghostbusters cartoons, and you got so accustomed to the cartoon that when you saw the movie and how it was real life, you're like, holy shit, man. You see it from a cartoon and go, okay, it's a cartoon, you can easily draw it, but when it comes to life and you're seeing, oh, okay, this is, Peter Venkman, this is Egon, and the actual, proton ray and stuff, dude. It's all like, wow, that's really cool. I thought that was a lot of really cool, fun magic, movie magic at its best.
It's more or less getting that hour and a half or whatever to almost forget about reality. You're getting engulfed into the props, the story itself, even just the character development. It does make it fun. As much as I bitch about horror movies, that is the one thing I'm always going to go to, mainly because, like I said, I get to see the props. I get to see like creatures. That's what I'm into. It's what I'm always going to be into. I think that's another reason I gravitate towards like Tom Savini and Greg Nicotero, because I want to see those like practical effects, and I want to see how well they come across.
And they've come a long way now. I mean, I know CGI's overtaken a lot of things, and sometimes it works to their advantage where it's better when you can't tell that it's CGI.
Yeah. Or when they blend the two together, like they did on Jurassic World and the Thing prequel.
Exactly.
Which was nice. It made it more depth, but yet they also had the practicality of something there.
I think Robert Rodriguez did that as well in Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Sorry, every time I think of him, I think of not Death Proof, the other one, Planet Terror. Sorry, as soon as you said his name, that's what popped in my head. Not the other good movies they did.
Yeah,
the weird ass fucking. Wait, wasn't Bruce Willis in that too?
Yeah, he was. Imagine what we're gonna do when we talk about Four Rooms.
Oh, fuck me, man.
So, is there anything else you want to say about Dirty Dancing before we sign off?
I would say if you haven't seen it, go and watch it. It's a fun movie, and like I said, like especially now that Netflix is doing the little mini documentaries about the movies, it's kind of cool getting to see like footage of stuff that we don't get to see in the movie, like stuff that was behind it, and yeah, like they have the Ghostbusters, the Die Hard, Home Alone, and Dirty Dancing. So like big movies from our childhood that are definitely made a impact on our lives. So like
pop culture.
Yeah. I'd say like you've already heard us talk about Die Hard and Bruce Willis, so you know what we feel about that. Now you know how I feel about Dirty Dancing, so maybe down the road we'll probably do Ghostbusters, and definitely gonna do Ninja Turtles because I feel that's a bigger one too.
I was thinking for another side thing, what we should do is like special birthday episodes.
Oh, like if it's hitting its like 30th anniversary, because like we can't say like, oh, it's hitting its stuff. No.
I was also thinking I'm actually going to see Ninja Turtles in the theater soon.
Oh, nice.
And it always fell around my birthday. I thought, hey, I think it would be really cool. Maybe we could do that like for a year, or make it a thing that like we pick a movie that came out around our birthdays or something that we liked and say, oh, here's a birthday episode for us, and we talk about that. And I thought, oh, maybe we could save that for March or whatever, and
that'd work.
Yeah. I gotta say the same thing about Mannequin. I know I forgot to mention the theme song from Starship. Nothing's gonna stop us now. I gotta admit, I listen to that too.
I believe it.
But yeah, I mean, overall, I enjoyed Mannequin. It's cheesy, it's 80s, it's dated, but I think the heart of it and the fun of it, and just I think what overall anybody would really want in a relationship is. Like, to me, that shows how much joy you can really have being with somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Like them fucking around in the mall and then knowing that they couldn't live without each other, and they go the extra length. Because I think at one point I don't want to say saves him, but definitely like helped him from the security guard attacking him, and then he goes and basically saves her life. Because I mean he would just be distraught if something happened to her, and I was like, yeah, that's what a man would do for his woman.
Absolutely.
I mean, a king must protect his queen, so that's what I really liked about it. It had this like kind of a hero's journey where he grew and like felt real love, and it wasn't just some fling thing,
Well, obviously they got married at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
It's like unconditional love.
Yeah. Maybe they had the time of their life. Oh!
It's probably easier to put.
Yeah, when she's not a human.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Probably. Funny thing is, I do that with Thea. Like, I'll put her in the air, like let her put her arms up. I feel like we should bring her back now that she's older. She can actually say words.
Hear her more vocal.
Yeah. She probably screams about ducks, and she's just learning how to say apple right now.
That's all right. Hey, the Halloween special is one of my favorite episodes, hearing her.
Yeah, when John's talking about apples, and she starts going, ooh, and smacks the shit out of my bald ass head.
No, when Lord Damien said something about it being a harvest time is also a time for slaughter, and she goes, ah.
I'm not gonna lie, I do feel bad, because like when we have somebody on when she was younger, and we were watching her, and I felt almost like unprofessional that I had my child, but I know we had no options.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that you can hear her in those episodes.
I am happy that both my wife Lexi and my daughter are in my life, because Like
Sure.
I get to do new experiences with both of them. So now I just did the 31 movies with Thea, showing her like some new movies. Obviously, I didn't show her the gory ones anymore because it'll mess her up. Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, we turned out all right.
Yeah, because I got to show her Beetlejuice. She didn't really care for it, but yet she tried. She did enjoy, obviously, Nightmare Before Christmas. Corpse Bride was the one that surprised me the most that she liked. Frankenweenie, and I feel like there's a fourth one.
Ghostbusters?
No, she didn't care for that too much. The only time she actually really paid attention was when the Demon Dogs came out. And I was like, of all parts of the movie. But I was expecting like maybe a little bit in the beginning. Nothing. It wasn't until that happened, and then when Stay Puft showed up, she kind of started paying attention again.
Everybody loves Stay Puft.
Yeah, you can't bash on Stay Puft. Actually, showing her the Great Pumpkin was cool because she was.
Oh, that's cool.
She was glued to it. I was like trying to like get her to sit with me. Nah, she wanted to stand and just watch. So I was like, hey, more power to you.
Some of those old Charlie Brown things are really cool.
Actually, there's only 3 I have is the Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas.
Okay.
Because I was like, I didn't realize, I remember those from when we were kids, but obviously they're way older than that.
Yeah.
But I was like, I didn't realize there was more than just those 3 until more recently.
Well, in the Peanuts movie that they came out, I love that movie.
Oh, like the CGI one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just watched that one recently too. It was actually a fun movie.
Mm-hmm. That has a lot of heart in it.
Yeah.
It had some good laughs and good, like, little kids being kids, and then, him trying to get with the little redhead girl.
Oh my gosh. And then him reading War and Peace, and
yeah.
then writing an amazing book report. Oh my gosh.
That's a damn good movie.
Yeah. It's like a feel-good movie.
It is. I like it.
But listen, fuck everybody for shitting on Charlie Brown, alright? That poor kid, man. He's already bald at like age 8.
What were they thinking?
Dude, like looking at the one line going across the back of his head, how does he have no hair? That makes me wonder more things. Oh.
Mailman's kid. That's going to be the next episode. Your dad's not your real dad, Charlie Brown.
That would be horrible. I mean, like, who would be like, oh, listen, I got an idea for a movie. We're going to tell Charlie Brown's origin. No, we don't need to know that.
I guess that puts a wrap on this episode. We want to say thank you all for listening. This was a fun little spinoff. I'm glad Jeff and I got to... I mean, he knew mine, but now I officially know one of his.
Yeah.
Even though he hinted at it. But we hope you guys also listened to it and said, oh, wow, maybe I should see these movies in a different light and be open to just liking it. Because it doesn't matter what genre you really like or what sex you are. I mean, a movie's just going to move you no matter what if it's good and does its job.
Oh,
Sometimes
yeah.
it even grows on you. Like I said, I first saw Mannequin and I was like, okay, it's all right. But then for some reason I just wanted to keep watching it because there were things about it I liked, and I said, yeah, I really enjoyed that. And
it was probably the core of the story that got to you, and then as you watched it more, you get to notice more about it. So,
and I just think it's not that I go by Oscar worthy. It's just the cliche because really, there are so many movies that I think are better than what the Oscars actually have for you. But yeah, I definitely say check it out. I think in some ways I could talk all day about the original Ninja Turtles movie, and some people might consider that a guilty pleasure, and I'll argue that till the day is long. That no, that's not a guilty pleasure. That is a damn good movie. So, just to plug ourselves again, you can find John Rochetter, Jeff Manford II, Colin Peters, that's me, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Well, are you going to actually go on your Instagram?
I guess I'm going to have to now, now that I found out I have one.
But you're not on Twitter, though, right?
No.
I don't think you need to be.
Okay.
I've been kind of going away from social media a bit myself. I pretty much just do podcast stuff. Yeah. So
I was like, now that Facebook keeps kicking you and me apart.
It's weird. Yeah.
But I would say, yes, definitely watch out for my dad if you're looking Jeff
Manford
up. Just look for Jeff Manford II. You can tell the difference, obviously.
Yeah. And Facebook's been pretty rough for me this year, from deleting people on my pages and deleting old posts, suspended me for saying National Prayer Day is a good thing. And what else happened? Oh, I got hacked.
Yeah.
And I'm not even on the thing, and I get hacked, and I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, I found out through text messages. Otherwise, I think 1,000 people would have got a hacked message.
You got hacked, bro.
But yeah, we're all in there. I mean, we're easy to talk to. If you have any questions or what we think about movies, suggestions, by the way, I mean, shoot us up, man. We're cool with that.
I'd say most of the thought process we go, like some suggestions we'll actually put in the rotation right away. But most of our episodes, like we could have a conversation like we've been having for this past hour and a half, and one little sentence that pops up, I will actually remember, and then I'll bring it up at a later date, like, hey, we talked about this, do you guys want to do it? And then sometimes it blooms into an episode, sometimes it just goes pushed off the side, and then later becomes an episode.
Yep.
So it's like, it's literally how our thought process works sometimes. So like, if there is an anniversary coming up, we'll actually try to do an episode for that. So it kind of worked out, we got Friday the 13th for the 40th anniversary and an actual Friday the 13th. Remember, there's another anniversary episode that we did, not like as an anniversary, well, we did one of those too.
Yeah.
So like it's a movie that came out. We'll try to like do like the 30th or the 35th anniversary, even the 40th, just to kind of like coincide. I think it'd be cool. And then honestly, like most of them are like, hey, did you guys check out this movie, or do you guys want to talk about this movie? So
well, I might even have to go back and revisit some old ones, because I know I said that I didn't really care for Halloween 3 a whole lot, and really I don't really think it's a good movie, but it's like still fun to watch.
Yeah, like honestly, like, I was gonna watch it on Halloween, but Lexi like axed it right away because all those sequels suck dick anyway. So what's the point? I'm like, yo, 3. Yeah, I was like 3's probably the best one out of all the sequels.
Besides 2018.
Yeah, that's a whole different ballgame.
Oh,
As
yeah.
we already discussed.
Yep.
I'll let start discussing it again.
We're looking forward to the future. We're looking forward to the guests and the movies that we're going to talk about. A lot of really cool things coming up. We're looking forward to promoting people and like other things that they have, because we're trying to be a feel-good, positive podcast and just have fun. I mean, sorry if you find our voices annoying or anything about us annoying.
Oh, but by the way, if you ever message John, just tell them that Jeff says fuck you every time.
Oh, and eat a dick.
Yeah. For no reason at all. Just like either end the message with it or beginning it. Say, by the way, Jeff says, and then put something fucked up, and then ask him a question.
Please do, because I want to see John say, yo, everybody's blowing up my messages in my inbox.
Because I do it on a daily basis. Like, I don't even hate the kid. I just love...
Yeah, we just do it because that's John.
Yeah. Like, all the hate I throw at him sometimes is just because I can.
Yeah. And at the end of the day and at the end of a session, we all just give each other a hug and go our separate ways, and then we're still texting each other as if nothing happened.
I think it all started was after the Exorcist episode, when he went to that great length of how great this is. I'm like, how the fuck do I follow that up?
Yeah.
I think that's where this all began, was that first episode. Because, like you said, he goes from the professional standpoint, so he's like already like got all this thought process in. I'm like, fuck you, man. I'm not gonna lie, it made me feel a little inferior because I'm like, shit, man, I don't know shit about fuck.
And now look at us.
Yeah.
Oh, how we've grown.
And it's like, I do love doing the research for these movies sometimes. It's just...
4 pages of notes for Power Rangers, the movie.
Like, as you heard me pick up John's notes during the fog.
Yeah.
Like, literally.
Yeah, but we have fun. We like changing up the genres and making tribute episodes, anniversaries, and all that other stuff.
Yeah, doing 2 tribute episodes this year was actually really fun.
I enjoyed that. I
Yeah,
enjoyed that a lot.
With Adam West and Elvira, like those are 2 big names that we helped, I guess, shape us to who we are, like what we enjoy.
Mm-hmm. That's a way to say it. I mean, I know Elvira to me is like, I can't see a Halloween without her.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't really say I was influenced by her because I'm not a horror host like Lord Damien is, nor am I a woman.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking more or less like these smart-ass comments during movies. Well, that's definitely...
Yeah,
me.
that's definitely, yeah.
But I can't help myself.
But we have a damn good time doing this, and we're enjoying the fact that everything's growing, and we get suggestions here and there, and everything's just pretty wild.
Yeah.
It also gives us a chance to get together more often and just find the free time to say, yo, let's do it.
Yeah. Honestly, like, with everything going on, this has been, I think, our outlet right now. So it's like we're able to talk, we're able to interact with people without actually, you know, just being straight business. So.
And I'm digging it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, even when we had technical issues or when the quarantine first happened, we still found a way to do it.
Yeah, that was actually pretty fun, too.
And we're hoping to expand and maybe like even do our own horror conventions and meet and greet people some way, somehow. I think it'd be really cool to talk horror with people in front of us.
Oh, yeah, dude. I would do that all the time.
Yeah.
Come on,
I'm just afraid that like somebody says the wrong thing to you, that it's not just going to be words that you're going to try to fight them.
Probably would. I'm not gonna lie. Like, end up suplexing someone through a table would probably be the best part of the show, and then I have to walk out.
So, I guess it's time to wrap this one up, brother. All right. Well, that concludes our episode of Conjugal Visits. This is Colin Peters.
And Jeff Manfred.
Thank you again, everybody, for listening, and we shall see you all next session. Stay safe. Stay crazy.
Please, somebody help me.
Oh, yeah.